So, hi guys. Uh, how are you all doing? And I'm so happy to be back doing the wedding checklist. We did it last season, and this season, this before the wedding season starts, I wanted to do it with few of the experts who've been there in the industry and who've been guiding us through stuff. So I thought let's get them on again and let's start talking to them as to what to remember, what to do while your wedding is happening. So I'm sure a lot of brides and grooms will be joining in today, and I got a thumbs up from a lot of you, all of you, saying that you will be there. And first, let me introduce today's like our guest who's here, and we have with us Nupur, who's basically the editor, the wedding editor at Vogue, and also the editor at Kush Magazine. She's one person who will be my go-to if I have to speak about lifestyle, fashion, brands, and anything to do with wedding trends, all of it. So that's why I thought that let's get her on board. And I would not take away from Nupur, and I would rather hear it from Nupur that I've heard very interesting stories about her early life, how she got into journalism and all that. But I would like Nupur to tell you guys that what happened. How did she get into journalism? What was that drew her to journalism? And let's hear it from Nupur.
Thank you so much, Prerna, for such kind words. Thank you. It's been a very, very interesting journey. Honestly, I am a self-taught writer. Actually, I have studied commerce, and that's how I started. And coincidentally, I had a friend who was working on a new website, and I think I've been like a closeted writer. But I think he was the one to point it out, and he asked me if I could help him out a little bit, and yeah, that's how it began. And yeah, there's no turning back, quite frankly. And then thank God for copy tests is something that we have when we give interviews, when you get into publishing. So it started with wellness industry, health, and then about 4.5 years ago with Vogue, I got on board as the weddings editor. I'm with Kush Wedding now, and yeah, and once you're in weddings, I think you're forever in weddings. So it's been a very, very interesting, enriching journey, to say the least.
Wow, from BCom to get into journalism and website content, you've done so much. To be frank, even I have done my BCom, and that's one thing we already have in common. And I've read some of your blogs and stuff that you've done, and
Yeah.
I know you speak about how Ivory is the new red for the Indian couture, bohemian, rustic colors, and
Yeah.
everything has changed in terms of trends.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you that, have you come across a bride who wanted to, rather than buying something new, wear her mother's lehenga?
Yeah.
And, what did you do and how did you reflect on it?
Yeah, a lot of times, actually, to kind of circle back to the start, I think that today to describe the modern bride with just one moniker, it's so difficult to do that because, I think women today, they love their contemporary comforts as much as they prize their tradition. So, and when it comes to obviously what is going to be the most special day of her life, she wants an outfit which is just as unique as, say, the man she's going to tie the knot with. So a lot of brides today want like a marriage of what is old and new, and her journey, her personality. And we've also witnessed this amongst a lot of celebrity brides, like Isha Ambani. She wore Neeta's I think dupatta for her wedding day in December 2018. So, and it has become very, very common. So I think it's very sentimental, and I think then the final result is the outfit serves as a symbol of, say, heritage, of unconditional love, and of course the new journey that she's going to start. And more than anything, I'm a big proponent of sustainability when it comes to weddings, although
Wow.
it's a so slow start, but it's a good one at that. And yeah, so it is a sustainable choice. It's sentimental, and I'm sure you will second that with your experience, like how it's been with sustainable weddings.
It's sustainability is so close to my heart. Rather, even my sister's wedding, we try to make it as sustainable. The recent wedding we did in Feb, though it was a very grand wedding, but
Yeah,
I work with brides that saying that sustainable, it can be a grand wedding yet sustainable.
absolutely.
Doing small things like, the Vedi was made out of kele ka stem.
Oh wow.
जो केले का छाल होता है उससे पूरी वेदी बनी, no thermocol, because whenever you think of a traditional Vedi, the carving is always done out of either wood or thermocol. But
Right.
what we did is we took this kele ka stem and we kind of carved everything out of that.
Wow.
The backdrop was flowers, but the flowers went to Fool, which is an
Yeah.
incense stick making company. Even
Right. Yeah. Okay.
even their basically even their varmala, it's been turned into a scarf.
Oh wow.
So stuff like that. We use no plastic bottles. We also try and use only LED lights, and
Lovely.
try and use as much as local talent we can, so that there is less carbon footprint of carrying people from one. We the bride and the bride's mother, Shalini Di, was totally not in favor of getting any artists from outside.
Yeah.
So whatever was locally there in Delhi, we kind of got that to the wedding. And I think one more way of sustainability is how are we giving back to the society?
Right.
As in, are we able to engage an NGO and do something wherein we are doing something back for the society? So that's also, I feel, is part of being sustainable.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. But do you often get brides or couples in general coming to you and saying that eco-friendly just equates to boring and just rustic and is that the case in your experience?
No, so that's what I try and do. That we basically started as a design company.
Yeah.
Okay, so we say that how we maneuver and tweak a design to make it sustainable is something that we need to my design team will work upon, because
Right.
uh, tomorrow the wedding is not sustainable, then that's not the future, because all of us, and I think the current generation's really really conscious that it has to be sustainable, so we
Yeah.
work a lot on making it grand yet sustainable.
No, that sounds exciting. Yeah, and I think it's important. It is the call of the hour also to at least try and have as many things, to go the eco-friendly route as you can. If not in the larger way, then the smaller touches for sure.
So if you talk about eco-friendly, one more thing which comes to my mind is wellness. Like,
Yeah.
while I think the bride and groom, or especially the brides, thinking all about their lehenga, their makeup, their hair, their jewelry, what do you suggest that a bride should take up as her wellness routine pre-wedding and post-wedding? What do you think that should be? Because I've read a few blogs, you write a lot about wellness as well.
Yeah. So I genuinely think it's so imperative to take maybe a wellness break. If you of course have the luxury and the time to do it, like maybe go for a small yoga retreat or something. But of course, not everyone has that kind of bandwidth to do. But for me, I think a day with, say, my girlfriends at the spa or even a salon for that matter would just do the same trick. Uh, but overall, I think I am the biggest advocate of disconnecting from social media to just reconnect. So I think if not, everything fails, then I think that is one thing that I would really urge all brides to kind of do. Maybe just take a little digital detox for a couple of days and to switch off and then to recharge and come back.
I think that's such amazing advice, because I think I have seen brides being so stressed about their trials and running here and there. And sometimes, before the wedding, they look so pale. And I think a digital detox and a wellness break, I think that's an amazing idea, Nupur. I think every bride, I will also suggest to whoever
Yeah.
I'm dealing with, I will tell them that you should. And whoever's here today in the life should totally take this up and pamper themselves with a wellness break. I think it's an amazing idea.
100%. And, you know, I'm saying this from personal experience. Every time I have one of those days, you know, we all have those days. And I think my only solution to kind of, you know, jump starting again is just switching off from social media and any kind of, you know, gadget. So that really helps for sure in kind of getting back the equilibrium.
I totally agree on this. And I also wanted to ask that, you know, you cover so many celebrity weddings, and uh, a celebrity wedding in India almost feels like a festival. Do you
Yeah.
think it kind of creates pressure on normal couples, or they take inspiration? What's your take on it?
So I am definitely guilty of being completely voyeuristic and, you know, sweating by celebrity content, because of course it's also part of my profession. But it's kind of sad that people get so consumed by what celebrities are doing, and, you know, it kind of takes away the essence of what they want for their big day. So so yeah, I do love some of the things that celebrities, and I like the idea that today they are being more discreet and private about their big day, instead of what, you know, it used to be back in the day. It's no longer like a big festival or anything for that matter. They want to keep it as private as possible. But yeah, it's nice to kind of take cues, and this is in general, not just celebrity brides, but overall any bride or any couple, to take cues from anything different or anything special that they are doing. For instance, you know, recently Shubhani Dandekar and Farhan Akhtar got married, and Payal Singhal hosted like a small mehendi brunch or sundowner for them, and the theme was based on one of the holidays that they had taken in Mexico. So I think, you know, kind of having those kind of sentimental touches and ideas, I think that is something that I would encourage everyone to maybe harp on. And I know that you are also like that, because I remember for India Couture Week, you did the set for JJ, and you played upon his signature themes of nomadic, you know, motifs and everything. What is that like?
So it was, to be frank, first I would say it was lovely working with JJ and TJ both. They are amazing souls more than anything. Our relationship began with a coffee, and it ended to be almost part of the family. So that's how it was. In
Yeah,
terms of design, JJ was launching his Spanish couture. So
yeah,
yeah, so he wanted to basically he had been to Vecchio, Plaza Vecchio, and he said that, you know, can we curate something from there? So then
yeah,
I said that, you know, of course, that is there, it is European, but let's take something from Spain as well. So then we decided to take inspiration from Alhambra, and we kind of combined Plaza Vecchio along with the Alhambra from Spain, and you know, made like a set which was inspired by both. And that then there were like these windows from where the all the, you know, models were coming. And especially you know, my design team Yashpriya worked a lot back and forth on the layouting and designing. And of course it was fun working with JJ, because when you work with another designer, you know, you're always so active because there's so much
of course.
stuff
Triple
coming.
but yeah,
Yeah, so there's like always an idea pool which is there, and we all got together, and it was fun. We went to for recce's together, and saying, okay, no, this can happen, this can't happen. Then I think first layout, second layout, third layout, because everyone wanted that everything is just perfect. They didn't want any one of us didn't want a scope of error. And knowing JJ, it was amazing that everything had to be just perfect and more.
yeah.
So I think it was an amazing collaboration and amazing time that we had with each other.
No, he's a genius, and I think the set looked incredible. Unfortunately, I wasn't part of Couture Week this year, but it looked incredible.
No, for sure next year, you know, we will
Yep.
make sure that you're there. Great.
Great. So, is it a bit? This must be like the busiest time for you.
Yes, the teams are busy, and they are
Yeah.
all on set trying to do stuff while I'm
Yeah.
trying to create value for my bride and groom and see what more can I do. But operationally, the teams are really busy, and they're doing the design right now, because the weddings are starting by November, and you know, we have
Right.
a lot of stuff coming up. So every day the designers are making new sets and designing, and they're totally in the design